Go.
Hello, and welcome to TTRPG News for July 18th.
I got the date fixed beforehand.
I know, we are very proud, be very proud of Weston. If you are watching this on the VOD, know that this is a live streamed broadcast with a in-chat audience where you can come hang out with us and chat with us about the news of the week. Come to twitch.tv/partyof2rpg and come hang out with us on Monday nights at 8 o'clock. All right, so for our first item of the night, there is a brand new Dungeons & Dragons themed brewery in Spokane, Washington. It's called Natural 20 Brewing Company. It just opened to the public on West Sharp Avenue.
Well, it hasn't quite opened.
It says just opened.
The official opening isn't.
Oh, okay. It won't be opening until August of this year, but it is on West Sharp Avenue in place of the former Hidden Mother Brewery location. It offers a unique Dungeons & Dragons theme to create an experience that anyone can enjoy. The brewery embraces what they call nerd culture for those really into craft beer and D&D or D&D. And or all. They even have a space in the back dedicated to people who want to play. I imagine it's like a reserve.
Yep,
gaming reserve night. But that would be really, really cool to do your gaming nights in an actual brewery. That would be awesome. Owner Reese Carlson said it doesn't matter if you're into board games, if you're into card games, if you're into tabletop games, if you're not into games at all, you are still welcome, and we want to provide you with a great experience. And like I said earlier, the brewery will officially be opened in August of this year.
And they do serve both alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. So if you just want to go be in the inn where people are drinking their ale, playing D&D, and you don't drink, don't fret.
Don't stress
They've got
about
drinks
it.
for you too.
They got you. Yes,
Yeah.
lowercase j.
Meet at the tavern.
Meet at the tavern. It's like we're gonna play our game, and it's at the tavern.
There we
That's
go.
pretty freaking awesome.
In other news, the second part of the Spelljammer Academy mini campaign is now available for download for free on D&D Beyond. This chapter is called Trial by Fire, and it involves the players taking part in a magical simulation, replicating the experience of flying a Spelljammer ship. The players soon encounter a crew of, I have no idea how to say this word, Githyanki?
Githyanki.
Oh yes, Githyanki pirates in a squad ship, and the two sides must do battle. The players are flying in a hammerhead ship, which is statted out in a separate layout. Trial by Fire provides the first look at the Spelljammer ship rules, including how combat works between two vessels. The spacefaring ship-to-ship combat is going to make a battle a lot more interesting, as players will need to worry about keeping their ship afloat unless they want to take a dip in the void of space. So that is available now to anyone who's got a D&D Beyond account. Go jump on D&D Beyond and get that for free.
That's really cool because I think up to this point, I don't believe there has been any rules like that created.
I don't think
for
so.
D&D.
I know.
Pathfinder has all that stuff statted
a whole
out.
ton of different ships and everything, but yeah,
like,
D&D,
there's rules
don't know.
for carts
and
like little hand carts and like how to do chases.
Yep,
it's amazing. All right, so speaking of Pathfinder and Paizo, July 22nd marks the 20th anniversary of Paizo, as well as the 15th anniversary of the world that we know as the Lost Omens campaign setting. In 2007, the license Paizo held to produce Dungeons & Dragons magazine was set to expire, so they decided to form Paizo and start creating their own content. With a much smaller staff taking a stab at something new, Paizo released a series of short standalone adventures telling the tale of the rise and fall of the Kobold King Merlokrep.
Yeah.
Sure. In the northern wilderness of Andoran. Over 3 adventures, Hollow's Last Hope, Crown of the Kobold King, and Hungry Are the Dead, authors Jason Ballman, Tim Hitchcock, Nicholas Loge, and F. Wesley Schneider establish the foundations of what would grow into the Lost Omens settings. To celebrate Paizo's anniversary and 15 years of the setting that we all love, Paizo is releasing a hardcore compilation of the
hardcover.
It's hardcore.
Yeah,
it's hardcore.
Hardcover
compilation of the Crown of the Kobold King saga, updated from its original 3.5 rules. This predates even Pathfinder First Edition.
Yep. Before all that.
Yeah. So they're taking it from 3.5 rules to Pathfinder Second Edition, and it includes a whole new chapter by original Kobold King scribe Nicholas Loge.
So if you have been a longtime fan, if you played 3.5 and then into Pathfinder First Edition, this is a historic one that now has been updated for us to play with the new rule set.
Yeah, it's. I think it's going to be really cool. I've heard people talking about this in the Pathfinder community for a little bit, actually. So that'll be fun.
We also have news for Vampire the Masquerade.
Woo-hoo!
Specifically, Vampire the Masquerade Nexus is officially in early access. So if you did not know, Demiplanes has working together with World of Darkness to create Nexus for Vampire the Masquerade. These are the same guys who made D&D Beyond, but this is for the Vampire the Masquerade rule set. Early access is now available. Early access for this will have the free introductory Vampire the Masquerade Companion, digital reader and game rules compendium tools, digital edition books available for purchase, Vampire the Masquerade core rulebook.
I literally read that cookbook.
Oh, there we go. Camarilla sourcebook, Anarch sourcebook, and then you can pre-order now because it's not quite ready, but Chicago by Night and Cults of the Blood Gods are both available for pre-order. They, of course, have more things that are going to come out later on this year, but these are the ones that right now are part of this early access. So if you are interested, if you play Vampire the Masquerade and you're interested in this new tool set, checking it out, you're like D&D Beyond but wish you had it for Vampire the Masquerade, go check it out. You can find out more at app.demiplane.com/nexus/vampire.
And just as a reminder, this is just like D&D Beyond in the fact that it is
you have to go buy all the stuff.
A cost high type of thing.
They do have one interesting thing though that I don't know if I've ever seen on D&D Beyond.
You guys are killing me in the chat right now.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God.
But you can actually, they do have possibilities to order a combo to where you get the physical hardcover book and the rule set.
For
on
VTM?
D&D Beyond. Yes. So on Nexus, you can buy, it didn't look to be that much more expensive, but it got you both physical and digital versions in the one purchase.
I wish D&D Beyond would do that.
Yeah, I don't think D&D Beyond does that at all.
No,
so
they're not. They don't.
They might be doing some new things with Nexus that might be good. Hayley's knocking over my
knocking over things. Okay, so I get all the Pathfinder news tonight. So, new Pathfinder board game on Kickstarter. Steve Jackson Games and Paizo Inc. launched Pathfinder Revolution, a new edition of the Revolution board game, which is currently on Kickstarter for pre-order. This is a new Pathfinder branded version of the Revolution board game, which was released back in 2009 and spawned expansions including Revolution Anarchy. The new edition improves the classic political deduction game, as well as what is happening here? Deduction game as well adds game elements from the expansion material. It is set in the world of Pathfinder RPG, and the goal of the game is to bluff or outguess opponents while building a coalition to gain control of the city of Korvosa. You can go to Kickstarter.com and look up Pathfinder Revolution to find the game.
It's interesting because Korvosa, you know how they released for, I believe it was it Savage Worlds that they did the Curse of the Crimson Throne?
Yes.
That's where that takes place. So this is actually the same type of thing. It's just in board game style. Because
okay.
in
That's
Curse
cool.
of the Crimson Throne, you actually have to try and build up this resistance against the monarchy. And so I think this is just doing the same thing, but taking it into a board game style.
That's cool. English, do you speak it? No, apparently I don't.
Which is funny because I didn't even write this. I took this from
I
the
know
official.
you. I'm like, I know
this
you
is from
copied
the official
it.
stuff.
I'm like, I don't even go. They need proofreaders.
And then last, and if you are a fan of, you want TTRPGs, but you also want your video games, developer and publisher Tin Man Games has announced that their digital tabletop RPG, Table of Tales, The Crooked Crown, is out now for Nintendo Switch digitally via the Nintendo eShop. Set to regularly be priced at $19.99, is 10% off at launch, so which makes it down to $17.99. This is, they literally took a tabletop RPG with your terrain set up and put it digitally. This was originally created as a VR game, but they have now created it down so you can just control it on your screen with your Switch controllers. It's gotten a lot of great reviews. It has multiplayer, so if you're wanting a tabletop RPG experience, but to do it through your Switch, this might be the best thing that you got.
Probably. So, I mean, would look at some gameplay. The whatever is not like amazing. The graphics aren't great. But they're okay.
Normal. It's fairly normal graphics for a VR build.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of think of it like that. It looks like they're a bunch of miniatures, but honestly, you've got your grid system. You got to move it. You get your number of moves per turn. Their system does use cards for different abilities, and you've got your cards you can see. It seems really fun, and most of the reviews have been very positive.
I would say though, it is not graphics wise. It's not on par with. Oh, what just happened? Something just happened. We heard a ding. What was the ding?
Someone raid.
Yay! There's a raid. Shoot, what's the ding for? Velour
Studios is raiding. I don't know why you didn't get a notification.
Thank you so much, Velour Studios. Welcome to our whatever. Sorry, I don't know what that was.
So that is, I think, all we've got today for TTRPG news.
We do have one community announcement that was sent to me this last week. Anominium News, a good friend of the program, has sent to us that they have finished a supplement that is currently available on Drive-Thru RPG. It has been play tested and has recently been released. It's called Maintenance of Ships Miniships. It's a short 11-page TTRPG with 4 races and 3 classes on top of multiple different parts that you can use to create a spaceship for your crew. So it's, I think it's building on the Spelljammer stuff. It is priced at $1, a bit over 8 cents per page. So you can go to Drive-Thru RPG and check that out. I will drop that link in the chat.
If you missed, I know a bunch of you just came in. If you missed some of the news, we do make this available on VOD, on YouTube, generally in a couple of days. You can
tomorrow, probably.
Oh, tomorrow. You can also join the Discord, which I can drop that link again, and then you can see all these news stories as we find them, and be up to date always on what's happening in the TTRPG news space.
Yes. So thank you for coming and joining. I'm awkward as heck right now. That was tonight's episode of TTRPG News.
Monday, July 18th.